Hey, Vicky Blades, your video coach here, and I am talking all about autism for World Autism Awareness Week. I wanted to talk a little bit about meltdowns because I think they're really misunderstood, and meltdowns are common for autistic people because they often feel overwhelmed. And what really brought it home to me about my son was that, in fact, my husband as well, was that if you think that the world is already quite a stressful place for an autistic person, their stress levels are they start here even before the day has started. They've got anxiety, they've got worries, they're navigating a world that is made for non-autistic people. And so there's a lot going on. And processing emotions and sensory processing is one of the kind of big indicators of autism. There's a bit of a myth that autistic people have no feelings because they tend not to read verbal cues in other people. I think more that autistic people have all the feelings all of the time, and it's really difficult to filter out and kind of, be appropriate always with feelings. And so you have the stress, you have the emotions, and the slightest thing can kind of tip the stress levels right up here, and that's when you get a meltdown. Now, a meltdown is, all autistic people are different, right? They're as different as non-autistic people. Of course they are. So everybody deals with things in different ways. But in my experience with my family, my son would often do kind of proper temper tantrums, like toddler tantrums. And now that he's a bit older and more of a tween or a teen, he becomes furious and he yells to the point that, I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's like a volcano. And then he'll cry a lot as well. And I can see it happening most of the time. I can see it happening, and I, we do prevention. But once he's in that state, and this is really important, there's nothing that you can say or do that will change anything. There's no point in reasoning, in trying to argue, coerce, persuade. Forget about it. He's in a heightened emotional state, just like you can't really talk to people when they're super angry. And all I can do, if I can't prevent a meltdown, then I can be there for him physically. I'm next to him. I cuddle him if I can. That's not always possible. But I let him know without speaking that I'm there for him until he calms down. And then often, we'll do a lot of hugging and I let him cry it out. My husband, on the other hand, obviously he's in his 50s. He doesn't often, he does, kind of lose his temper, if you like, but he's more of a shut down meltdown person. So when things get overwhelming, when we argue, for example, he will often just completely cut off, either walk away or just kind of stonewall. And that's another type of meltdown. It's just, I can't cope with this. It's too overwhelming and I'm going to block you out, basically. So that's my experience of meltdowns, but it doesn't mean that all autistic people are like that, because just like non-autistic people, everybody's different, right? So just a little bit about meltdowns. If you'd like to share your experience, I'd love to hear more about your autistic family. I'm Vicky Blades. I'm a video coach and I'm all about storytelling. If you want to hear more stories or tell me about your autistic journey, then why don't you drop me a comment below and let's connect. Have a great day.